Hey, Loco Hoops fans, it's Friday night. Welcome to another edition of the Loco Hoops Report. Although this may be a sort of abbreviated one, Wes, because we got hit by the weather bug again. As a matter of fact, it's turned kind of nasty out there. So if you already made it home, be grateful because the wind is whipping up, the rain is kicking up. So we saw quite a few games get postponed again tonight due to people being out of school or just concerns about the travels, I guess. But which is, I don't know. I thought we could have played tonight, but I know if you're out of school, you're out of school. Like that's a
Yeah,
thing.
that's if
But
normally that's
yeah, there's
tied with
nothing you can do about
athletic
that,
events going on if the school's canceled for
right?
most of the year. So
Yeah.
could be
So to run
precaution.
through all of that, yeah, I mean it is what it is, but I mean indoor sports we used to be able to play when it rained. James Island at Colleton County was postponed. Lucy Beckham at May River as well, and Hanahan at Battery Creek, and Woodland at Ridgeland Hardyville, and Branchville at Bridges Prep. So that leaves us with basically just Bluffton, Hilton Head, and Hilton Head Christian Hilton Head Prep, which we both had covered. I went over to the Den. Bluffton girls won 56-37. Takoya Hayward put up 31. She had 24 in the first half, so she kind of carried the Bobcats tonight. And then on the boys' side, I didn't get the scorebook before they scooted out of there, but Bluffton held on 45-39. We'll show a few highlights that I had on my phone here in a little bit. And you've got highlights from Hilton Head Christian, Hilton Head Prep, where Hilton Head Christian girls win 62-21. Maya Hutchinson with 18. Courtney Campbell hit her 1,000th point, though, so that's cool. And Hilton Head Prep boys retain the belt 50-35. Ben Frey and Jason Britchke with 11 each, and Barron knocking down triples like they've been doing all year. And Harry Skinner blanked, huh? No score.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
That's
that's
impressive
shocking
from
me.
prep. Impressive from prep. And if you missed that one, you can see it on WHHI with our friends Marcus Walsh and the Libs and all the crew over there. So you can check that out tomorrow and Sunday and all through the week. And Marcus said it the other day. It runs. I couldn't keep track of it, but it runs a whole bunch of times. You can't miss it over on WHHI. But
Yeah.
yeah, Wes, tell me more
They,
about Hilton Head Christian, Hilton Head Prep.
yeah, I mean, once again, I was shocked by the way they were able to take away Harrison Skinner because he has been. You saw this last week how important he was to how that offense flowed. Now they're able to get big buckets from his 3-point shot and just penetration. He was able to get close to the basket, but they took him away. Tremendous defensive effort from that entire group. Jason Ritchie leading the way, but Connor Campbell was excellent. In a matchup with he was prominent trying to defend Skinner at times, and I thought he did a terrific job keeping him at bay. And Hilda Prep just got hot early from beyond the arc. Billy Barron, Ben Fry hitting a couple of 3-pointers, getting some separation. Of course, Jason Ritchie doing work early on the glass. He has been invaluable, but the way he's been able to operate and just becoming that key big guy in the post and close to the basket who can find ways to just be a matchup nightmare for the opposition. And great to see Elijah White back in there. He was really carrying it for Hilton Head Christian Academy in this ball game, but they just weren't able to get many other contributions. Caden Turner was able to heat up a little later, but the shots just weren't falling early. It was kind of similar to how that state championship game went down early. Different players. Obviously, you didn't have Sean Cusano, but I mean, you still had the 3-point shooters. You still had Ben Fry and Billy Barron playing the role of Kane Eaton's, or I guess you could kind of like what Hugh showed. So it's very similar script that Hilton Head Prep kind of caught fire early and held on. Although Hilton Christian Academy did make a comeback late. They cut I think it was like an 18-point game, 16, 18-point game, but they cut it down to 9 as Elijah White and Caden Turner were able to get going. But Hilton Head Prep called a timeout, were able to regroup. They're just being a little too careless with the basketball, but they calmed down, went back to flow their offense, and once they got to Ritchie back in the game, they were smooth sailing. Although Ritchie was in foul trouble, he got the 4 fouls, but they're able to keep him on the court and ride his services to the win. But great passing, offensive execution for Hilton Head Prep. You saw their calling card, what they do best: great passing, great ball movement, and when they find an open shooter, they nail that 3. And how about Billy Barron? he has become the specialist. 9 points, 3 of
Yeah.
6 from 3-point range, so great efficiency. And then Ben Fry drained 2 of 4 from the young arc. If I would give a player of the game, I think I got to go with Ben Fry. Just the way, not only is he hitting his shots, but he is rebounding remarkably just with his frame. You don't expect him to grab so many boards and make so many impacts, grabbing those rebounds and playing relentless hustle on defense. But man, he has become a new guy from, compared to what I saw from Buford Academy days. That guy is just relentless out there. I mean, really, really impressed what Fry's been able to do for the Silton Ed prep team. He's become really the X factor these last few wins. And going back to that Holly tournament, man, that guy can play. Brendan Moore with a couple of strong baskets, 6 points for Hilton Ed prep. And man, Harrison Skinner, as well as he has played, and I think you got to give all the credit to Hilton Ed prep's defense, because they did not let anything easy. He, his office, his calling card is those shots beyond the arc. They did not let him get many clean shots off. And the closeouts were all there for Hilton Ed prep. There was just nothing really easy for Skinner tonight, and kind of that's how they were able to slow out Hilton Ed prep or Hilton Ed Christian Academy. And it was really just Elijah White who made some nice plays in his own, slasher to the rim. Huge to have him back for Hilton Ed Christian Academy. He is that play driver, that offensive superstar that they need to really help set the pace and set the tone. So he had a really nice game. Keaton Turner, certainly a streaky guy, but when he gets going, he's tough. He's tough to defend. But Hilton Ed Prep is a better team tonight, and certainly looking like the class of Skeeza 3A at this point in the season. And that I didn't expect it. I didn't expect this team to be, close to right where they were after lost Cusano Haynes. But credit to these guys, Barron, Fry, for stepping up.
Yeah, it's impressive. I mean, they just so fundamentally sound, and they're so committed to it. And I'm beating a dead horse, but they're just so patient, and they're so selfless, and Princeton is so beautiful when everybody commits to it. It can be boring, to watch, but not also, like, when it's done well, it's so beautiful. Like it's a tapestry, just weaving together, and they just keep getting better and better at it. And again, like, a team that's super athletic and can get out in passing lanes and things might give them fits, but there's not a lot of those in Skeeza. So I think they're going to be able to keep this thing rolling. I mean, unless they just have an off night in the tournament,
Take some kind of really cold shooting.
It's a really difficult style to prepare for and play against, especially in a tournament where you don't have a lot of time to prep for it. And when it's executed well, it's like, it doesn't matter what you do, they'll eventually pick you apart. That's another nice, impressive win for them. And
really impressive.
I'm still not panicked about Hilton Ed Christian, but like, it's not.
I think
starting to get close
Prep
to that time.
I think HHG is fine. I think given more time for Elijah White to get back in there with this new coach to bond together, I'm not hitting the panic button for Hilton Ed Christian Academy. I still think they're a quality team. They're one of the top in Skeeza 3A. So I think it's a matter of finding ways to adjust and get the most of all the parts that you have, and see if you can find some other players who can provide that spark. Because I think Prep right now, when you look at just the starting core, I think they're a little more deeper than Hilton Ed Christian Academy is, although you have that high-end talent in White, and certainly when Skinner's on his game, he can produce as well as anyone. But certainly the more complete team.
Looky who's here. It's Robbie Benson. What's going on, buddy?
Word, fellas. How are you?
I just saw that you texted me. You weren't ready yet, but I didn't see it until after.
No, it was, it's all good. I'll duck out in a second, me. So what game we discussing? Because I just got back from one, and it was an abomination.
Go ahead.
What you go to?
I went to Christian versus Prep.
That's what we were talking
that's
about.
The one we were just talking about.
So you want the hard talk? You guys want the hard talk, or do you want the? How hard you want it?
Wes gave us the company line. I guess
you
can do what you want to. You're your own man.
That's
Wes.
Sure.
Wes told us, that Prep got the dub. That Harry got skunked All the main things.
So Harry's running back to the locker room at halftime, screaming at the staff that literally they have no plays that work. That's what it looked like tonight. Princeton offense getting easy looks versus everything. But I mean, like, and some beautiful interior passing by the way.
Passing was exceptional.
Yeah. It was exceptional. Beautiful stuff. All the meanwhile, all this talent just languishing in anonymity over off of Bluffton Parkway, man. Like, what is even happening? They had 12 points. They had 12
points at halftime was concerning.
12 points. And the thing is Q sits on the bench for the first 5 minutes and they go down 10-1. Okay. Then, this is so good, guys. For the first quarter, down like 8 points, 9 points, Wes will tell you. Christian gets the ball with maybe 45 seconds to go in the first quarter, down 8 points already, 9 points already. They four corners it for the last shot. They four corners.
They held it.
Like that was some Kalela malpractice stuff. Like you can't even believe. By the way, that staff is deep. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
There's 27 people on the Christian staff.
Wow.
So it had to be one of those things where, like, I don't know, man, but like to go to four corners in the first quarter,
that doesn't.
To stop down 8 was crazy.
Well, especially when your opponent wants to play slow.
It looked like they had no urgency.
Shorten the game. Like, you want to try to get them out of that. You want to try to.
Even when they were down double digits, it just didn't seem, except for a couple of times when, Elijah was able to drive and get some buckets close to the rock or to the rim. But
Elijah started with the first 6 points for Christian and then never got the touches again. I mean, that's sort of the way the game went. I mean, no. Look, we can temper it, right? No Isaiah Anderson, right?
Yeah, no Isaiah.
Okay.
No
There's
Isaiah
always
Anderson.
no somebody, though. I mean, at some point, like, availability is the most important ability, right?
Yeah, and that was the same thing with like the Cross JP2 girls game last night. Like Cross just didn't have kids available. That's just what it was.
Yeah.
Like, and the one kid they didn't have available was the one kid that they needed to actually cover. So, so it gets to be like, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah, you lose in Isaiah, you lose at advantage at times, and he provides another presence to score close to the rim. But
definitely, he's a factor.
That's
I mean, honestly, because of that, Britchke became much bigger factor.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Is Isaiah kind of cancels out Britchke to some degree,
and that gives Britchke really the advantage.
But here's an interesting thing, guys. And there's no allegations being tossed or any Rob weirdness or whatever. Prep comes up with 2 new kids a year who can play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like high school kids, right? Like the kid today, I forget what his name is. Brendan Moore.
Brendan Moore.
Brendan Moore. Brendan Moore is got good length, decent size, and can and a smooth ass
stroke it.
So and then you've got the kid who is actually the son, right, of the coach,
Billy. He's the same guy.
Billy is the same dude, and Billy can jack. He must have missed one.
I know.
What did he do? One.
He hardly ever misses one. Like if he's open, he makes it.
I mean tonight
3-point range.
Oh gosh, I would have thought 75. Wow. Okay, so he was only 50.
Yeah, that's what the book said.
Wow. I mean, I literally thought he was like torrid. I don't know. The whole thing, I mean, being real, like if you want to get down to the nitty gritty of it and like get past it, the wheels are off at Christian. There is no chemistry. There's like Elijah has the ball with like 4 seconds to go and they're like telling him to hold it so Harry can run around and take a DHO and then ISO. And it's sort of like this is all out of whack, guys. Like, Harry's supposed to be a point guard. He's not supposed to be you be everything too when you have
Right.
a 6'3" kid who can go do that stuff. When you have Caden. Now there's a lot of chemistry stuff there. There's Dylan coming back. There's Micaiah leaving.
Right.
Micaiah was more of
Right.
like a defensive piece and
Yeah.
a
3D
plug
guy.
and make the extra pass and stuff. Dylan's more like Brandon Bryant, kind of like those were always the two I compared growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they're
I
like
see that.
like flash and dash kind of kids. And I thought Dylan tried and played hard. It wasn't that. I mean, he actually in the small runs they made in the second, he was, partially responsible for them. But like the reality is you have skill on prep where they can shoot the holy moly out of it. And, Christian's got athletes and there's like not a three to be found.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah. Well, it's been a rough week for Christian Academy, to say the least.
Well, I would say
you can hope that they can grow from this and turn a corner, but it doesn't sound great.
Do they have an actual like?
They have three. They have three ADs.
Is that like
what they
having?
say about when you have more than?
Is that like having three quarterbacks?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah. I think it's a little like that.
I think like they need to start this search and figure it out. And this interim thing is not a thing. I mean, they got guys like, I mean, I'm not going to say that. That's terrible, but it is what it is.
I mean, they have good people in place, but
I mean,
you need someone to be in charge. And that at the end of the day, somebody has to be in charge and make the decisions.
Bro. Like they don't run anything.
We digress.
They run nothing. They don't have pace. They played into Prep's hands. Prep runs that stuff flawlessly, and they have some shooter. Yeah, and they have some shooters, and it was like wire. And then every now and then you see a flash from Caden or Elijah, and it would be like an and one, and you realize they're sprawled on their back, and you're like, I was sitting next to Kane's dad all night, and he was like, look how hard it is for Christian to score versus Prep scoring by flicking their wrist. Christian is hitting their butt, and their entire body is hitting the ground every time they actually score. You know what I mean? Like it's just a vast difference in it. So there's a culture issue right now on wherever Christian's located. And
Bluffton Parkway and Masters Way.
Yes, that's what it is.
I'll tell you, Rob, this is not the same Ben Fry I saw at Youth Academy. What a determined player that he's become, who can also stroke it. Fearless rebounder. My God, every game I watch, he seems to grab some board that I thought he had no business picking up. That dude can flat out play basketball, and he's learned a lot from. You want a good little Ben Fry story? I went to go watch them play Prep a couple weeks ago, right? And I took Matthew Fisher Davis, and congratulations to him and his lovely wife. They have a brand new baby girl. I believe her name is Michaela Ray, and she's gorgeous, and the family is happy and healthy, and we couldn't wish anything but anything but the best to them. But I went with Fish to go watch, a couple of games ago. And first off, he's from Charlotte. That's his stomping ground. He grew up on Carolina courts in Charlotte, and that's before he's played 4 years at Vanderbilt, and he played at Charlotte Latin and Charlotte Christian and all those. So he has like a really good understanding of this area versus that area. He remembers Faulkner from back in the day, up in Charlotte and all that kind of good stuff. And now we're at this point where we're watching him play, and he's like, hold on, Rob, is that kid out there? Is that Ben? And I'm like, that is Ben, man. He's from Charlotte. He's like, that dude was like 4 or 6 years old,
at Carolina courts every day when I was like getting up reps. He's like, I remember Ben well. Like Ben was a good little baller, and like all that kind of stuff. And here's the thing: he suffered injury. He is changed his position drastically. His body type has changed a little bit to change his position. But what he does is he's actually, and this entire team, and I was talking about this with Kane's dad, they just buy in on this stuff, right?
They do.
Like, so they buy in, and like he's kind of on the forefront of it. Like he just he doesn't care about the shot. Like he's going to hit his threes if he's open, and he hit a couple of nice ones tonight and all that. But really what he does is he moves the ball along before there's any trapping potential. He makes the extra pass. He's athletic enough to still go get like tough boards. He plays defense. He's just a good player, man.
He was the best player on the court tonight. Right.
I thought so too. Like he did a lot of just little things everywhere. Sort of like in the game before that. I don't think she'll get the credit on points, but like Devin was everywhere.
Oh, Devin had a remarkable game tonight. One of the best I've seen her in a while.
Yeah, Devin was everywhere tonight. And
an anonymous local coach has weighed in with a text saying that he agrees with you, Rob, that he likes Ben's game a lot.
Yeah, Ben's nice, man. I think Ben's nice, but what I think I like about Ben, is he doesn't try to do too much.
I know.
He's like right there.
He's so unselfish. He's such a do a job guy. Like he does not care at all whether he gets anything in the stat book on the play or not, as long as they get a bucket, or as long as they get a stop, whatever. He's a good kid.
He's one of those kids who like really loves hoop, and he's gonna play hoop.
Loves it.
But he figured out a while ago he wasn't like elite prospect, but he still loves hoop. And he's a high IQ guy. So like now you're in that situation where he's been injured a couple times. So he's been dumbed down a little athletically. He's not. He was a point guard under old Nick. Now he is just the dude who makes the right play in the freaking Princeton, guys, like all the time. And like that's super dangerous.
Yeah,
it's super dangerous. And then there's like
I think he's really smart too. Maybe Princeton should call him.
I'm not kidding, man. Like what
I know. I'm not either.
He's just a role guy that makes like I'm not sure he had a turnover. I'm not sure he made mistakes. Even if he didn't hit the threes, those are gravy because everything else he's doing to make the offense roll in the way it needs to. So anyway.
Yeah.
But
he can have 4 or 6 points and have a huge night. I think that's pretty standard for him.
Also points.
There was a point, man, where there was like a minute and a half left in the third, and I looked at my daughter and I said, oh my God, the only goal now for prep is to try to keep them to 20 points.
And really all they needed to do when they were up, I was thinking like 10 or 12, and they started to just hold on to the basketball. Run your offense.
And I think that gets so like Christian got a couple, and ones real quick.
It was a 9-point game with like 6 minutes left. They started to cut into it a little bit, and I turned to the guy next to me and I said, you know what? They got to keep playing. They got to keep scoring. Like you don't stop and just like stall ball it, even though it's slow. You could be methodical because that's the way you play, but like you can't stop scoring. And then immediately they would get a backdoor cut, and then it was extra pass, and then there's a layup at the rim, and you're like, man, that was nice. And you're like, so look, there was no part of any of that game they didn't dominate. It's just what it was. Like and I hate to say this, but like again, the wheels are off at Christian. There is like they maybe can what they need right now. I don't know when they play again next. They don't need a hard practice. They need a players meeting. Players only meeting.
Yeah. They all need to get in there and determine who they are, what they are, who needs to get the shots, who doesn't need to get the shots. They need to determine like what their end goal is, because they got embarrassed tonight. And I mean, they didn't lose. They got embarrassed tonight with more talent. And that's the bottom line on that. And consistently for 2 years, they've had more talent that they've showed less with. And that's sad for the kids who are like really like legitimately trying to play at a high end level. So, I mean, I'll tell you this, I would have to say that, you know, next year at Christian is wide open. All those kids are gone. And to be quite honest, I would be surprised if the staff's back. So
They got something coming up on
Yeah,
Monday
I mean-
in county.
and I don't mean a firing scenario for what it's worth. I just mean
No,
that,
I mean, I think
Yeah,
it was
it was-
always probably going to be a 1-year thing anyway.
From what I understood, it
think
was
that
always
kind of
interim.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
so now they've got to go and like recreate their identity with nothing in the cupboard, which
And,
is
you know,
wild.
I would say too, like they got put in a bad spot to begin with. Their AD and basketball coach bailed way late,
Right. Yeah, that's
they were
tough.
in a tough spot. And that's kind of like the first domino. But well, actually, there were probably dominoes before that if I knew everything, but I don't. But yeah, I mean, it's like you gotta stop the bleeding now and just try to hit reset. And I mean, kind of a changing the
Look,
guard
we
on
got
the
no
roster,
decisions.
right? Like a lot of those guys are going to graduate, so
A lot are going to graduate. There's
timing.
a couple that are out the door that are in the underclass that I understand.
Especially for a high school program, when you're in the middle of the season, it's not easy to kind of change a philosophy for 14, 18-year-old kids midway through. It's a challenge.
Well, you could tell. I mean, here's the thing. Like with Christian, you can tell where they are. Like, first off, Caden doesn't start. They've got multiple kids that are getting time, and I'm not saying they're not quality kids or quality players or anything like that, but like one of them's a senior and's never played ever before. He's not new to the school, right? He's getting like real minutes now. Then you got another one, like they ended up the game tonight where they effectively, the backcourt was Harry and Ethan Foster, and Ethan's a freshman, right? So the gist of it is they just sort of threw in the towel and said, we're moving forward with like kids that like care, or kids that are going to be part of what we're doing moving forward. I'm not sure where it's off base, but they don't run anything on offense. They're playing no faster. I mean, they're getting 12 points and a half. They get excited when they get buckets with like kids on the floor who should be getting buckets one every 3 possessions. It's just a wild thing to watch. And honestly, I gave Grunk a lot of heat for their level of play last year, and in terms of how fast they played or didn't play, and how methodical they were. But you know what? They were methodical last year, but at least it was purposeful. Like, this is methodic without purpose.
It was effective as well. Like it's now.
Like this has no purpose. They're not even looking for the right kids to get the ball, and they've allowed so like when we propagated this, guys. So like on the media, we propagated the cult of Harry, right? We propagated the cult of Harry, and then they did it last year. He's just a freshman. He's like, how much do we hear that at games, right? Well, here's really what it is. The kid is a point guard and has to be a point guard the rest of his life, and right now he's a shooting guard. How's that work?
He needs to be Ben Frey.
I mean, a little more.
I mean, that's well, and Ben was a little bit more like Harry when he was younger. You know, I mean, he kind of fell in love with the shot too for a little bit. And then, like you said, he became a little more limited by injury. And also, I think he realized, like, size-wise, like, he's a 1, not a 2. And he just started to kind of grow into that role. I think the culture change of scenery helped him with that as well, you know, getting into that system. But But you know, I mean, obviously story's not done with Harry. And
No,
I
and I
think
don't. And the
that,
thing is I think
yeah,
Harry is a super talented kid. It's not, but I
exceptionally
do,
talented
but
and great work
it's
ethic and like, yeah,
all
Gifted
the above.
shooter. He's
But
just
you
kind
know
of
what?
going on the wrong path right now. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Like
just
whether
got to
he knows it or
refocus a little
not,
bit.
he is definitively on the wrong path. He needs to be a
Yeah,
pass first point guard
right.
and shoot when he's open. Like he's not
Yeah,
your go-to dude. He's never like
no,
there's
He's
no
a
way
great
you
complimentary. Like if you use him well, he's a fantastic complimentary player. All in his
for sure.
hands, open shot. He's going to hit it, but I think they're expecting, maybe he should be doing a little more and embracing the role as a point guard. Whereas you have other guys who can find a way to get the ball in their hands and operate an efficient offense. And I'm not saying he shouldn't be having that high usage role, but it was just a little discombobulated tonight, and just the way they, as you said, there was no intent and purpose was varied from
Well,
what they wanted.
and it's like how I started, and I'm not calling Harry out for bagging on the staff because he wasn't. He was frustrated and he was coming by the
right.
Christian, like fan section, and like he was talking to the rest of his team. And so that might be
Right.
unfair to me, but like the reality by me, I should say. But like the reality is that resonates. Like that he
Right.
like when your point guard when your quote unquote point guard, at least your primary
Yeah.
ball handler, feels like you've got nothing to go to versus whatever they're
Yeah.
running, then you've got a real system issue, right? Like my daughter has been in that situation on many occasions,
Yeah.
like where we're like, wow, we're staring at something here we do not have a set for. That's a defense we don't run stuff against, right? And it just felt like that all night, like Christian was surprised by what prep does. How is that possible?
Yeah, like they only do the same thing. Like they do what they
It's hard
do.
to
There's no mystery.
it's simply
The
Yeah.
oldest
them
system in basketball.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's very difficult to defend. I
execution
mean,
is
some of those late
Yeah.
baskets, though, man, with the interior passing, were like,
yeah.
like that's how you end this by just
We'll
being.
have to queue up these highlights because there are a
That's what
couple
they
at
do
the
to
end.
everybody. They did that to
There were a
BA
couple
too. Like BA
passes,
fought them for a while, and then they wore them down, and they just started choop
right?
choop choop
Yep.
choop, just layup lines.
Man,
It's
man,
unreal. They get you tired, and they start the layup line.
and I'm telling you, the kid, the coach's kid, man, he was fired tonight. You
Buttery.
know,
He was that way at BA too. I saw him hit like 3 in a row, and he knows exactly where to go, and
it's
it's
funny.
just pop pop
Last year,
boom.
everyone bitched. Last year, everyone, because they had so many seniors, like bitched and moaned that he was on the floor. But he knows his spots in that system. It's his
Oh
dad.
my goodness.
So
Oh,
like
I
he
mean,
goes and finds them, and then that release, right? Like all you
oh,
got to do is flick your wrist to score.
very,
Basketball is a whole lot easier, bro.
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I
and they got a
mean,
couple dudes who
Catch and
can do it.
release.
yeah, they got a couple dudes.
Bluffton girls won by 19. We haven't done any sponsors. We were going to do a shorter show, and now we're already 35 minutes in, and we've only talked about that one game pretty much. So best laid plans, whatever. MVP sponsors of Lowco Sports: Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Lowco Sports, and my wife. She's with the Anchor Home Group of Keller Williams of the Low Country. She'd love to help you find a place in the Lowco and put down
Hey,
an anchor in the
Justin,
best place. Yeah,
your
yeah.
wife, does she also handle rental properties at all, or know of any,
Um,
or is that part of what it
I don't
is?
know.
Okay,
No,
I'm
she's a
gonna.
realtor. She's a realtor.
Yeah, I think they do
Um,
that too sometimes, though.
yeah, she can do a little of that, but she
Okay,
really wants to sell you a house or sell your house, ideally.
right,
But
I
yeah, she
gotcha.
can help you out with that. I think you've got her number.
Well, my goal was to rent this and then buy something
Oh,
else.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
we
yeah,
can
yeah,
help
yeah.
you out with that. Yeah, we can help
All
you out with
right, so
that.
that's
We'll
okay. So
get you to
she's
the
good
right
that way.
people.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
All
sure.
right, all right.
Yeah,
Excellent,
yeah. She'll
excellent,
help.
excellent.
She'll help you with all your
All
needs in the
right.
real estate market here in the
I'm
Low
just
Country. I appreciate
getting
you
a feel
asking.
for versatility here, right?
And if you do decide to, to buy one, you'll want to call on my friend Jan Lucas at Homegrown Home Inspections to make sure he gives it a good once over, make sure it's good to go. Official home inspectors of Lowco Sports. And then, of course, you'll want to do the closing at the Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate closing attorneys of Lowco Sports and our original sponsors. And then when you're nearing death, you'll want to go to hospice care of the Low Country, Robbie. Last 6 months of your life, you want to spend it with the great folks at Hospice Care of the Low Country, because at the Hospice Care of the Low Country, it's not about dying, it's about living. They have hospice care, palliative care, free grief counseling, all kinds of things going on over in Hospice Care of the Low Country. And that's our MVP sponsors. So, Rob, I don't know if you heard Bluffton girls beat Hilton Head pretty handily, as what you want to expect. 56-37. Takoya had 31-24 in the first half.
Okay.
And Bluffton boys won 45-39.
So hold on,
They
who
were
was
down at halftime?
who was guarding Takoya? Do you know?
I mean, I only saw like the fourth quarter.
Okay, okay, I got you. I was just trying to figure out like what the matchups were, because that stuff interests me. But
Yeah,
yeah. How do
by the time I got there, it was late enough that I can't, with any degree of confidence, say that was the person who was guarding her all night. But
Gotcha.
She cooked them.
Yeah.
Whoever it was.
Oof.
Well, you know what? She's having a year, and you got to love to see it, because I mean,
This is what we were hoping to see for Bluffton. I mean, dominance against, obviously you want to see in your region. We'll see how that carries over. But man, torching the Seahawks, which she has had her numbers throughout her career, but even 31 is something you didn't see on a regular basis against teams like these. So she has turned her game up a notch, and I think a lot of that to do with who she has with her at her disposal with Amira Brown, and another solid outing with 12 points, and she's been a big reason why this team's starting.
I swear, like, Takoya is just a different kid this year. Like there's like a weight off her shoulders or something. Like she's not pressing as hard. She's having more fun than I've seen her have in a long time.
She's always,
and I think it's just a little bit of like, like whatever. Like, we've made it this far. Whatever happens, happens. But like, she's not stressing about it. And then Maddie too is just like, she's cutting up. Like, they are having the most fun this season, and that matters. Like, when you're not having fun and it doesn't go well, everybody, the morale goes down. Like Hilton Head.
What do they say about the
but
best
when you're
team?
having fun, like it usually goes well.
Yeah, I mean,
playing
like,
with your friends.
Right.
I mean,
especially
hey,
that last season, that last ride, you want to savor it, and that's what you want to do. She's turned it up another notch this year, and
well, she's always been that kid, and she's got that elite athleticism, and I still think it's debatable whether she's a point guard, but certainly at this level in this area, there's no doubt that she can play it. But beyond that, like, she's just an effective kid all over the floor. Like, she D's up, she blocks shots, she gets rebounds. She's always been a really nice table setter. Like, she has no issue making pass first. In fact, I think that's her preference. And like,
to the point that I think that
honest,
was why she got frustrated a lot earlier in her career, because she would give it up and then they'd blow the shot.
And the help
just
like, wasn't coming.
Well, I think that's every point guard in the area is like major frustration, right? Like, I mean, being real, every elite point guard in the area who averages like 4 to 6 assists probably should be averaging like 11.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know who's gone through that? You know who's gone through that a lot in her career? Courtney Campbell.
Courtney Campbell.
1,000th career point. Good for her. Yep. Good for her. That is fantastic.
You know what's funny? Like, I love Court, and I was there tonight, and I was taking the pictures of her at it, and I knew it was coming and all that kind of good stuff. But like, it's, to me, I hate to be this way because I love Court, I love her family. But to me, the anticlimactic nature of being down like 50-4.
Yeah.
And then like getting it with like 4 minutes to go is not my favorite look for her, because she's so accomplished and so damn good. And like at the end of the day, that's not a shot at the younger kids on the team, and Christian's still Christian, right? So like, it is sort of what it is. And like, when Devin's gonna own up and match Courtney, then and or be better than Courtney potentially in the game tonight. It makes things very difficult, but it was one of those things.
It was more of a we're back moment for Hilton Head Christian Academy than a knock on Hilton Head Prep.
It was certainly odd. Would you not agree, Wes? Like it was like with like 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, down 100. And so like that was weird. But the thing is,
Marcus Walsh. He was enthusiastic as can be when she was getting to 1,000 points, and rightfully so.
There you go. But the thing is it's a huge accomplishment for her. She's mid-junior year, right? Like, so I mean, it's not like she's trickling. She's not like she's trickling in. She's on par for 1,500 or so at least. And so I mean, look, here's the deal with Courtney. There's a handful of elite. There's a handful of elite regional. There's a handful of elite guards in this area on the girls' side that are actually regionally, not necessarily nationally elite, but can play with the national kids. And there's like 5 of them right now. And, Courtney's definitively in the top 3 of those, right? Like we just talked about one, Takoya. She can get it done like that. Devin can get it done like that. And so Maya is not a point guard though.
Oh, I thought you said guards. Sorry.
Yeah, no, point guards like that. I mean, to be quite honest, it is what it is. I mean, after that, it's literally like to the PJs. You know what I mean? And things of that nature. Because like the reality is that this area is in girls is about to go from 24s to 27 so fast. It's absurd.
Yeah.
And the fact is the 27s are equally as talented, but like but it's so interesting. There's not 25s and 26s around. But
it's so weird how that comes cyclically sometimes.
This year,
I mean, I don't even know. Like,
it came back more year, but you do lose a lot, especially in the Christian Academy with everyone who's graduating at the end of the season. So.
Well, I mean, Christian's got nothing back, but like on the girls' side, I mean, they have like a couple starters, but they lose Maya, Devin, Morgan, and that's good. Yeah, so I mean, you got that, and then Courtney's back, so that helps. But even on like the JP2 side, they're going to lose Mahoney, and then they lose Graves, and they lose like 3 or 4 of their starters, right? So now you're at that point with like who's young and who's good, and who can move it forward from here. What other scores we got, fellas?
That's about it.
Game.
That was all that we got in tonight. Everybody got canceled. It ended up being Bluffton, Hilton Head, and Hilton Head Christian, Hilton Head Prep, and everybody else was PPD.
Yeah, I saw where May River. So like I'm about to do my infamous scatter shooting. And I'm about to go after May River a little bit, guys.
For just not having played any games?
I mean, I know Jermaine got moved up to be AD, but like, and I know they've had 2 canceled, but they're at 4 games on the season where they played Bluffton twice, where they played Beaufort twice, and they played Ridgeland. And they played Ridgeland Hardyville twice.
Playing during the holidays? Did they just take it off?
No, the girls were going to, but then Jermaine had like a death in the family or something, and they had to cancel their tournament trip, or their games that they had scheduled or whatever. So yeah, they have played very few games. They played borderline Royal Live Oaks schedule, the region only slate.
I can promise you that with the new talent that's influxed at May River, that is not making them very happy.
And
how do you get to 1,000 points with 8 games? Like how do you like make a nice huddle reel for a college recruiter with 8 games? Like, come on. Like, so that's pretty terrible.
You need to play more games.
Hey, let's talk Kamira real quick.
Yeah.
Kamira,
because not only is she
Trinity, 32 against Carleton Prep, and then 18 last night in a loss to Patrick Henry.
They lost to Patrick Henry?
Yeah, they lost to Patrick Henry by 12. Lillian had 18 for Patrick Henry.
Oh, so Lillian outdueled Kamara yesterday.
Yes, indeed. Yeah,
That's
and Patrick
that's
Henry.
interesting. One goes right, one goes left.
Oh yeah, there was also supposed to be a Patrick Henry JP2 boys game tonight. I haven't seen that score yet.
I don't know. That's interesting, though. I'm a big. I don't know. I think
Patrick Henry boys also beat Buford Academy last night.
Nope.
John Paul hammered them tonight, though, 63-39.
John Paul boys look nice, man.
JP2 boys.
They
look a lot better, but that's impressive.
Yeah.
63-39. Where'd Robbie go? He disappeared. 63.
Yeah, that's a team to watch out for, JP2. Now that they're starting to get
well,
rolling.
I guess. I also have one other score that was reported to me via text. I forgot about. Is Robbie back yet? Where did he go? The Swamp Rabbits, the mighty Swamp Rabbits fell to the Stingrays, 83-23. Stingrays get the dub over the Swamp Rabbits by 60. Swamp Rabbits are going through it this year. They are also known as Varsity Opponent, which on Max Preps. Yeah, on Max Preps, Varsity Opponent has a record of 246, 908, and 1. They tied. Somebody tied Varsity Opponent somehow. But JP boys are rolling. Dang, they put it on Pat Henry. Now I know Patrick Henry's been playing with like 6 dudes.
Yeah, they've been very short-handed recently.
Yeah. So, and this is also like their 4th game since Friday, which is kind of crazy.
They've had a lot of time off. I know they just had their first one.
JP2's been off forever, but Patrick Henry played on Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
They hammered Cross yesterday 74-26, and they come back and beat the heck out of the squad they played today in Patrick Henry.
Yeah. JP2's looking good.
Because I know they have
Doc Archibald has nice things to say about him. 3 freshmen getting experience. He calls them super good. That's what the doctor says. Maybe we should just make the doctor come and talk to us.
Well, we'll see how good they are against Hilton at Prep coming up on the 16th.
Well, I mean that's a test.
On Tuesday.
That's a test. Doctor 83-23. I'm just filling in these scores. Your boy right here has to be up at 5 a.m. Well, not up at 5, on the bus at 5. For the wrestling. So we're going to be wrapping this thing up a little bit earlier tonight, I think. 83-23 cross goals over the Swamp Rabbits. Let's shout out some sponsors. The varsity sponsors for Lowco Sports: DDS Web Design, designing, hosting, and maintaining websites for businesses and nonprofits that give results. Find them at ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group. Your legal needs across Hampton, Colleton, and Jasper counties, call on Parker Law Group. They're also coming on board to help us continue to expand our coverage into those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes. And the Reverence Wrestling Club, the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind, coming at you Sunday night, talking the wrestling. And we will have much wrestling to talk about. We're going to get the doctor in here, I think. Dr. Archibald, the doctor himself. Wonder what happened to Robbie. What happened? But because we don't have much more to talk about that happened tonight, unless we get more people to talk with us, although it is nearly the end. But looking ahead to tomorrow, Wes, what USCB, of course.
Georgia Southwest, another tough matchup for both those Sand Shark squads, although you never can count out that guys team, especially if they can get the hot shooting going. They're kind of cold on Wednesday. If Larry Bullock can rediscover his form and they're able to find that efficient offense that we've seen that they can put out of them, we could see something special. And this is a team that
Yeah.
Anytime they take the court, they have the opportunity to explode and make a shocker in this conference. So that's the fun about it, because you just never know what can happen in a Peach Belt Conference game. The explosive talents and the skill of all these players. It's been really fun to watch it come here to the Low Country, and this is a team that, as I said, any night or any day can really impress you. So Ron Fidala doing an excellent job with that squad, and I still think we have yet to see the best from that maybe in the men's team, but certainly that women's team as we move forward. I think Versip is going to get this team playing better and better as this year one goes on, and make a huge jump, I think, in year two.
Agreed. Hey, look, it's Dr. Archibald. What's up, buddy?
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Good. How are you?
Welcome. From just texting in the background, now you get to actually say the things on the show instead of just relaying them through me via text. So yeah, you're impressed with JP2, huh?
Yeah, I'm super impressed with JP2. They got a 6'7" and 6'6" freshman bigs that are really tough. The biggest thing is they're physical. Usually young guys aren't physical, and these two guys are very, very physical. They bullied my guys around, got a lot of offensive rebounds. That's why we struggled so much is defensively. It was hard for us to get rebounds against them. We played them last night. Tonight we won, but last night we lost to JP2.
Right.
And then, the freshman guard, Daniel Godson's really quick, can go both ways, finish with both hands, has a nice jump shot. I think he's the best freshman guard I've seen around this year. Maybe the guy from Augusta Christian or Curtis Baptist in Augusta is really good, but he's kind of outside your area, right?
Yeah, well outside our area.
Yeah, so the best guard I've seen around here.
I'm intrigued by this JP2 team. I'm definitely going to see them in action soon. They've got a tough one up against Hilton Head Prep, and then Thomas Avery as well this coming week. So couple big ones on
prep game, right?
I didn't go to the prep game tonight. I watched them play Hammond a few weeks ago, and I was trying to get to I was actually trying to get to the prep game tonight because I played at 6. I played a little earlier, but our game kind of dragged on a little bit.
Oh yeah, you played tonight.
You guys took down the Swamp Rabbits, right?
It's been a long day.
Yeah, we took
the Swamp Rabbits.
Swamp Rabbits.
Felled.
Yeah. Still the greatest nickname around here.
The greatest.
But our guys played really hard tonight. Played well. Press was working. We were able to get some easy buckets, get up 60 to 13 at half, and then kind of had to, got to take it off at some point. So
there's a minor league hockey team, I think, in Greenville called the Swamp Rabbits. It's a nice
I did see that the other day. Yeah. They play in the same as the Ghost Pirates. It's the same thing.
They stole that.
I need to get to a Ghost Pirates game.
Yeah, me too. I need to do that as well.
You haven't been?
Seems like a great time. No, my 10-year-old daughter's been to one, but I haven't been to one yet. She gets to do all the fun stuff. She's got all the best friends who have tickets and stuff. Not me, but no, I gotta check it out for sure.
I watched Hilton Head Christian play Bluffton last time. I don't know. Did you see the highlight I sent you?
Yeah, I was there. I was there for that one. That was last Saturday.
Yeah. Yep. And I said hi to you, dude.
Yeah, I saw you.
But he's like, I was there. I was like, yeah, we talked.
I think he was telling the people. He was telling the people that he was there.
Yeah. And it was that was an entertaining game. I mean, 16-0 at the end of the first quarter, and then Hilton Head. What didn't make sense to me is Hilton Head Christian switched defenses after the first quarter. They went from man to zone, and then they never switched back. Really confused me. But I watched Hilton Head Prep play Hammond a couple weeks ago, and I really like. Now Hammond was super, super talented, and I don't think they're 3A. I think they're 4A. Right?
4A. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're really good. They had 2 twins that were really good, but I walked away impressed with Prep. I thought they were the best team I've seen in the area this year. They'd be number 1 in my rankings. I think they were number 1 in yours, right, Wes?
They took Hampton.
No, okay.
Yeah. When Hampton went 0-3 in the Bobcat, he got him out of there.
Yeah. And
I mean, Prep might get number one in mine next time we put him out.
yeah,
They
Ben,
just
the lefty,
keep
he
getting
really moves the
better and
ball.
better.
And then the big kid,
Richie,
they're big. Yeah, he's physical. He's good. He's got a soft touch. And he, the Princeton is about bigs passing. Like, the perfect big for the Princeton would be Nikola Jokic, right? With the way he plays.
Right.
He would just be sick in it. And so he does a really good job passing. They do I ran the Princeton in high school, and they do a really free-flowing Princeton compared to what we did. Like, theirs is more of like emotion, and it's more like a lot of the Princeton concepts, but they're not running sets as much. But it gives his players with high basketball IQs, like Ben and the big kid and their whole team, really, they play with a high basketball IQ, and it gives them the freedom to make decisions. And that's why I think why it's so effective. And as the game goes on, I think you guys talked about in the fourth quarter, they're getting easier and easier layups. And I think because they start realizing how the defense is playing it, and as the defense doesn't make adjustments, they know those weaknesses by the end of the game. So I would try my best, if I were going to play them, is try to keep them off balance, because those kids know their offense, know it. And I loved the offense when I ran it. Especially as you can build into it, year 4 of running the offense, everything. So. But yeah, I really like Ben. He's one of my favorite players in the area. And then I really like Godson from JP2. I think he's really talented, and I would love to. I would have those two played yet.
JP2 Prep will play next week, this coming week on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, yeah, that would be the game I'd be at if I was a basketball fan in the area.
I'm going to try to be. I think it's at JP2. It's at JP2 Tuesday, the 16th. Make plans to get to that.
There's your game of the week. The Lowco Sports game of the week. Do you have
one
yet?
yet? Go.
You do that now?
Well, we don't have the.
I mean, we could. Yeah.
I mean, we could.
Somebody wanted to sponsor it. Somebody wanted to sponsor it. We could have a game of the week for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's a key for sure.
I'll take the subtle jab there.
Bring it on, bring it on. But yeah, so that's about it. Bluffton swept the Seahawks, and we talked about the Hilton Head Christian and the Hilton Head Prep. And I've been up since the wee hours of the morning, and I'm about ready to go to bed. So let's shout out the Lowco Booster Club. We've got the Court Lifestyle Pros, Low Country natives Daniel and Debbie Court, selling the Lowco lifestyle on Hilton Head Island. Help them bring you home. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country, Chris Odom will get your floors so clean that your feet will thank you. You know him, Doctor? He's good people.
I don't, actually.
I know you do. You deal with the floors and such. Yes. Prime IV Hydration and Wellness, now open in Belfair Town Village. Go see Max and get juiced up with your vitamins and minerals. Rooted Living Wellness over in whatever that thing's called behind the Dairy Queen. What's that called? Sheridan Park or something? That's where Rooted Living Wellness is, and that's where you'll find Dr. Ambrose Cole, the best back cracker I know. He's a chiropractor. He'll make you feel better, mind, body, and soul. Eagle Creations, if you need custom apparel or gift baskets or some promotional items, business cards, anything like that, go see Bill and Mandy over on Argent Boulevard. And Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. You been to Ridgeland, downtown Ridgeland, Doc? You like that place?
Yes, some good food down there. I had to go to the business office there. I was doing paperwork for for my business for the county, because we're actually located in Ridgeland technically, and so Jasper County is our county, so I had to file our business work license paperwork, and I ate lunch out there. As long as I was out there, checked it out a little bit, and then I also paid Step of Faith.
Cool little town. Oh yes, Step of Faith Christian. It's a cool little downtown. Good tacos down there. I like tacos.
You always talk about tacos every single podcast. My favorite taco chain is actually Fuzzy's, which is off of
Fuzzy's is excellent. Fuzzy's is excellent. Yeah. Oh, you haven't been to Fuzzy's? Yeah, it's in the other half of the end market out there at 95 out at Exit 8.
It's quite good, though. Like everywhere else I've been, it's never in a gas station. It's always its own place. I know. And
it's weird that it's in an end market. But that end market also has like swords for sale and shields, like all kinds of interesting things in there. The place is wild. Yeah.
I'll have to check
Yeah,
out the gas station.
the Fuzzies in market travel stop is quite the experience. But yes, Fuzzies tacos, very good. My friend Ian Guerin, yours too, Wes. That guy, I don't think his family will drive past a Fuzzies without eating. Like it's like guaranteed. I guess they fell in love back in Texas. So anyway,
Hello.
so Doc, when's your next one?
My next one is
Tuesday?
Tuesday. I play the Hilton Head Prep. My JV plays Hilton Head Prep, but my varsity plays Low Country Montessori.
All right. I didn't know
So.
Low Country Montessori had a varsity.
Mhm.
You gonna go to a game tomorrow? You gonna go check out USCB, or maybe
I haven't made my plans for tomorrow, so I might actually.
We got a busy it's Lowco Sports Day in general. We got some quality basketball, including some neutral site games, I believe, on that day. Bluffton Oceanside girls, Hilton Head Christian Camden girls, if that's still on the schedule, with what's going on in terms of the weather.
it's supposed to be. Oh yeah, that's true.
Some of those games may end up getting watched potentially, if, especially Hampton games. We'll have to see Hampton Whale Branch. We'll see if that one can be in jeopardy if the weather. Although there's no school on Saturday. So.
I wonder with Hampton Whale Branch, I wonder if how many of the football players will try to come play.
Because Blitz Border Bowl is also that.
It has happened before. Because there's
where
both
you
teams
double
have
up
like
football and basketball the same.
So we got the Blitz Border Bowl at noon in Savannah, All-Star game. Hampton's got Kayvon Chisholm, Elise. Anybody else who's on there? And then Whale Branch has KJ and Bradford, like two of their most important. Oh yeah, Garvin. So each of them have like at least two important players who are playing this thing. So I wonder if any of them will go try to do the Deion Sanders thing, but with football and basketball.
No, that'd
be fun. That'd be fun.
Time to get a chance
we'll
to do that.
Have to check in on that. We'll have to check with Mr. One Time. Oh yeah, Coach TJ says Hilton Head Prep JV is also at JP2 Tuesday. Coach, whatever that means. I don't know what that means. I'm not tracking, but all right. Well, I think that's gonna do it for tonight, fellas. It's been he thinks your game is Friday.
Oh, maybe it is. It could be.
There you go. So that's going to be a night for us. Thanks so much to Robbie Benson, whatever happened to him, and to Dr. Archibald. Thanks to our sponsors and everyone who showed up to listen or watch. We will be back Sunday night. Sandtrack Rewind at 8 p.m. Lowco Grind at 10. And then we'll see you Monday for the Lowco Sports Lowdown. Until next time, for Doc Archibald and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Go Lowco.